Now it is time to look at how we can add media elements into the WordPress. When we talk about media elements in WordPress or anywhere else on the web, we can group them into two main categories: local content that is uploaded and lives on the site, and embedded content that lives somewhere else. Most importantly, it has a relational link or links that tie the attachment to the post or page where it was added. So let us just click on Add Media. When you upload and add an image to your post, you're actually creating an attachment post for the image and then using the attachment post data to display the image in your post. And once that attachment post has been created, you can add the same image with the same data to other posts as well, without having to re-upload anything, because each image lives in its own independent attachment post. When you upload an image, WordPress doesn't just save that image, it creates many different versions of that image for you to use. It creates a large image, a medium, and a square thumbnail in addition to the original. When you add an image to a post or a page, you can choose which of these sizes you want to use, and WordPress will provide the correct image file for the size you pick. Let's go to understand how we can add images to posts and pages. Now let us add some images to a newly created post. On my computer, I already have a folder full of images, and now it is time to add some of these images into my post in different ways. That is what we will be doing in the rest of this chapter. Adding images into posts and pages is done directly from the content editor. First, go into editor and find where the images to appear. So I am going to place my cursor in front of it, hit return one time to create a line where my image is going to go temporarily. Then click on the Add Media button at the top here, and this opens my Insert Media panel. By default, WordPress will always open this panel in the Media Library mode that shows off all the media items that you have previously uploaded into WordPress. As you start building out your site, you will have tons of materials in here, and the whole idea is if you upload an image once, you can then use it again and again on different pages and posts as well. And that's why you have this media library. I'm going to upload a new file, so I will click Upload Files, and from here I can either click the Select Files button to open a file explorer on my computer, or I can simply navigate to the folder that has the images I want, grab the image I want, and just drag and drop into this Insert Media dialog. For now, I can simply navigate to the folder and upload the image. Once the image is uploaded into my site, I switch back to the media library where I can see the images or images I just uploaded get highlighted. And then on the right side here, I get all the information about my attachment. At the top, you see a preview of the entire image followed by the file name. Then we have the date it was uploaded and the size, both in terms of file size and the physical file size. There is an Edit Image button, but I would avoid using it because it doesn't work all that well. If you want to edit your images, you should do it before you upload it into the WordPress. And you can also delete the image permanently. Just wipe it out completely. It will no longer be in the WordPress. What comes below here is the information that gets added to the attachment page of the image. So this is how WordPress indexes your images. Also, we can select image sizes too. Click Insert into the Post button, which inserts selected images to select a place in Post Content Editor. We can see image in small size with caption. Let's click on Image to Style and Original Image. Let's update and see the changes in the front end. In addition to adding images to the content of the post itself, you can also associate a single image with your post, and that single image can be displayed outside the context of the content itself. These are what's known as featured images, and they have special role to play in both your WordPress site and also when your WordPress content gets shared on social media. To see the featured image, let's add one to our post. So now it's time to use it to add a featured image to our post. So I'm going to click Upload Files, go to my folder with images and grab the image that I want to upload. Now instead of this image being added to the content of my post, you can see it appeared down here in the featured image panel. This is the preview of what the featured image will look like, and if I want to, I can click Remove Featured Image and then I can add a new one. But if I think this is the correct one, I am going to click Update. Just go and view my post and you will see something has changed. The featured image is displayed outside the post, well, in this case at the top of the post. And this is important to remember. Different themes will display featured image in different ways. Some will crop them, some will leave them in their standard format, some place them at the top of your post, some might place them to the side of your post, and some even place them in the header of your post. It all differs between themes. But the general consensus is that featured image should be displayed above the title of your post. Now we are going to look at the embedded content, starting with images from other sites. When you add an image to a web page, you are not actually adding the image to the page. Instead, you are adding a code, a reference, that tells the browser where the image file is sitting. Then the browser will take the page, cut a hole in the page, and then grab the image file and place it inside that hole. That means you can add an image to your site even if the image was not uploaded to your site. So let us look at how this is done in WordPress using a very common scenario. Let us say you have a bunch of images and you have uploaded them to an image hosting site like Flickr. Now you want to use one of those images in a post or a page. You can do that, but you have to follow the guidelines for Flickr and you have to do it in the right way. We're going to follow the exact same procedure we did when we added regular images. I will add a new line and then click Add Media, but instead of choosing Insert Media here and Upload Files or choose from the Media Library, I'm going to actually go to the left hand side and choose Insert from URL. Here I can enter a URL to any type of media content. So in this case, I'll go back to Flickr, which is flickr.com. Let's say we are searching for birds, and get a URL to the image file itself. And I do that by clicking this download button in the bottom right hand corner, selecting View All Sizes. Then I need to define the size. I'm going to check the medium 800 size. So right click on the image where you can copy the image URL, and going back to WordPress, I will simply paste the URL inside this section. Now WordPress will go and check out what the file is and figure out this is the image. So here's a preview of the image. I can add a caption here. Then I can add an alternative text, and just like with any other image, I can choose an alignment for the image and also add link. Now here's the thing, because we are grabbing an image of Flickr, we have to follow the Flickr guidelines for how you can input images. The image now appears in my post just like any other image. I can click on it to get the tools to change alignment. I can also edit the image information. So I can edit caption, alternative text, alignment, and where it links to, but I cannot edit the image size because the size is controlled by Flickr. And I also cannot replace the image with something else. And if everything works correctly, you will now see the image appears just like any other image in your post, except this image lives on Flickr. And this will work just fine as long as the image is actually on Flickr and Flickr is up and running, and it will take some of the load off of your own server because you're now pulling content from somewhere else's server. Scroll and click update and view post. Now that you know how to use image from other source, I'm going to caution you against doing this too often, because if you want to use images from other sites on your site, you have to follow their guidelines on using their images about the attribution and the ownership. Let's look at how we can add content from YouTube and similar websites. Some of the coolest stuff on the web can be found in audio and video format as well, and chances are when you find an awesome YouTube video or a SoundCloud file, you want to share it on your blog. There is a technology called embed in your WordPress, and this is quite easier than ever. Let's look at YouTube first. Let's just go to YouTube to add a video to your post. All you have to do is find the video on YouTube, and you simply need to copy the URL from the address bar, come back to the WordPress post where you want to paste, and paste it into your content editor. So now I have a playable YouTube video inside my editor, and I can click on it here and it plays, just like any other YouTube video would. It also finds support in sites like Vimeo, SoundCloud, Twitter, Flickr, TED, and so on. After doing that, simply click on update and view the post. Let us look at how we can embed Google Maps into your WordPress site. So at the bottom of my post here, I want to add a map to the location of, let's say, Kathmandu. So what I have done is you simply go to Google Maps and you enter Kathmandu, Nepal, or any other address in your choice. Now you have the map location. On left sidebar menu, click on share icon, which you can do that, and then I share a link or embed map. This gives me the option of a share link, but in this case I want an embed link, so click on embed on map. Then I can simply copy this URL entirely, come back to WordPress, and here I have to switch from visual to text view, which you can do that right here. Then I go to the bottom where I want my map to appear and I paste the embed code, copy it from the Google Maps. So this is the code that I will go to Google and grab the map and place it. And then I will find this width attribute and change it from 600 to 100%. This will ensure that the map is always 100% of the available space. And when you squeeze the page down onto a phone device, for example, it will stay 100%. I unfortunately have to set a manual height, so I am just going to leave that at 450 pixel. If I now switch back to the visual view and scroll down, you will see something that looks weird, but will eventually become the map right here. And then I can click update and go and view the post from the front end. And if everything worked correctly, if I scroll down, here we have the full functional map placed within the context of my post. The nice thing about using embed like this is that you are not hosting this file basically in your WordPress site. Instead, you are merely cutting a hole in your site and displaying YouTube or Twitter or SoundCloud or even Google Maps. In this case, put this into this hole.